is various widths. On the roof you can see how narrow these are. These are a little wider, and then it may be not evident, but some of them are also doubled width. So they used this on the ends of the car, yeah, very wide there, and then there's one or two of them that are two, which make one. And on the ends of the car, they did the same thing, but those were covered. And then in this corner, you can see these don't come out even because they use different widths of them. Down to the bottom, they're very narrow. This was a double one, these are singles. So it was kind of interesting to get everything to fit right. As far as I know, we put them back where they belong. Was original with the locomotive, and it had no special function as far as we could see. It had a little desk sitting on top of it, which was handmade much later, I'm sure, than the original. But this is original locomotive, Laconia Company construction. Actually, these corners are standard car corners. Our 108, our baggage car firm, which also ran in the Atlantic Shore, is made out of that very same cross section. What we discovered underneath here is there are 4 bolts hanging down inside of here. Well, what did they hold? There are 2 holes here where wires came up through the floor. There's one here, there's another one over there. This side is open. Well, what in heaven's name was that? Why was that? Well, doing a lot of research, first of all, we found a picture of the sister car to this, number 101, and is pushing 6 loaded cars, we assume are full of coal, up a very steep hill. Well, that was a lot of weight that it had to push, which meant it drew a huge amount of current in the motors. And on these DC controllers, when you shut them off, if you don't do it right, even if you do it right sometimes, you'll get a very large arc which can burn up the controller, explode, or whatever. Well, in this car, when it was built, 100, 100, and 100, 100, 101, and 102, they had what was called a line switch. Well, how did we know that? Because the original description in the Electric Railway Journal said K28, and it's either G or H. I think it's G. And that form of controller had a provision for a way of operating a line switch. Remote switch is basically what it is, a relay. And all the other K28 controllers did not. So in here was this big line switch, which would have blown open a huge arc, and you didn't want it in the controller, so it was isolated in here. And actually, I'm wondering what size of an arc came out of this hole here and aimed at the motorman who was standing over here. There was heat-resisting material on the back wall. You can see a few nails where it was. The door was lined with it, and all this stuff didn't make any sense, but now it all adds up. Well, in order to control that, the power to that switch, if you wanted to work on it or something, you had what they call an MS switch, and all